Hello and welcome to Dad's Dad Job Podcast. This is the original football podcast for dads, by dads. This is your host, Adam Leverborough, and I'm joined this week by Rob Halton. Rob, how are we getting on, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Doing pretty well. Looking forward to the weekend and a weekend of football, really. So yeah, that's me. What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. Doing all right. You know, life is coming at us very fast. Obviously, as you know, it's World Book Day today. So seeing Connie dressed up, ready for World Book Day, dressed up like Princess Peppa Pig. Yeah, it just kind of showed how old she's getting now, very, very quickly, in a blink of an eye. But yeah, things are good, mate. Things are good. How's things you're doing?
Ella did that as well, actually. She went as Little Miss Sunshine to nursery, so she was living her best life as well.
Wicked.
But since while we're here, actually, while it is World Book Day, we should just quickly thrash this out. What's your favourite book, Adam?
I don't read, mate. I'm not even joking. Like, I don't have the attention span. That's the moral of the thing.
All right, let me rephrase the question. What is your favourite kids book? Because you have to read them.
As if that's the only kids book that I can only read.
No, I mean to your kids.
Favourite. Oh, right, okay. Right, I see where you're going with this now.
Yeah.
Right, okay. The Gruffalo is always a good one.
Gruffalo's a banger. Yeah. I love the Gruffalo.
What other one is there?
I actually prefer the Gruffalo's Child, to be fair, but they're both excellent.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of other ones now. I mean, there's loads, isn't there? I mean, I quite like Superworm. Superworm is super strong. Superworm is super long.
So what you're saying is you're a Julia Donaldson fan?
As we established previously, but I don't particularly like the what's the mole and one mole digging a hole. I don't like that one. As established on Dad Rant on an Instagram post. But yeah, that is not me. That is not me. Just to let's iron this out straight away. I mean, we're doing our podcast into two parts now. We're gonna focus on dad life, kids stories, and all the fun bits in between. And then part two will be what we want to talk about, which is mainly football and wrestling and then any football sort of topics that are occurring at the minute. So yeah, that's this is the dad bit, and then the other bit is the dad bit. So in terms, what's your favourite kids book then?
My favourite kids book, the one that I like reading. I really enjoy reading the Gruffalo's Child, actually. But we're reading a lot of Winnie the Pooh at the moment with Alea. So that's been great because we did like a half-term trip and we went to the 100 Acre Wood down in Sussex, and
that's right.
So we've been doing a lot of like Winnie the Pooh right now, but my favourite is always I really like the Gruffalo stories, and the Gruffalo's Child is great. So that's probably it for me. But yeah, you're right. We're switching it. We're switching it up a little bit, and
switching it up, man.
Yeah, well, I kind of like the idea. I think we can pre-record this, and then we can do the live chat and interact with people over on YouTube as well. But before we do that, I just wanted to do a quick update for us personally in our family. A couple of weeks ago, while we were away, Kelly's father was taken ill, and we sort of rushed up to Hartlepool up north to take care. Sadly, he passed away, and it's been a bit of a hard couple of weeks following that. He was an incredibly accomplished man. He was a Coldstream Guard. He trained and worked around Buckingham Palace. He served at the Gulf War. He served in Ireland. He achieved so much in the army. He was known by first name by the Queen, and he raised two incredibly accomplished children as well, in Kelly and Sarah Jane. One my Kelly is a head teacher, and Sarah Jane is a executive chef at the Sydney Cafe in Australia.
Wow.
Not only was he a resilient man, he raised two incredibly resilient and excellent children. And like many things, like many people, we don't all get the end of life that we deserve, but he lived an incredibly fulfilled and accomplished life. So I just wanted to shout out Danny Brown for the man that he is. And I'm very proud that even by coincidence, when we adopted our son, Danny, that he had his name and got to carry on that name, because sometimes fate has a wonderful way of working. So that's to you, Danny. And we love you and we're going to miss you. So
well put, mate. Well put. It's a nice gesture. I mean, looking at the pictures that Kelly put up on Instagram and stuff of her dad, and you don't kind of like, I've never really knew that Kelly still had a dad about. So obviously to find that out and also see the remarkable career that he had and the imagery that goes with it, it must be something quite. How can I put it? Very British in a way, like in terms of the royalty, the level of job that he had, and it does make you feel very patriotic as well, like seeing those photos. And it kind of really puts things into perspective.
Yeah, the Coldstream Guards are kind of like the quintessential British soldier, but also their motto is second to none. And I can tell you, he was, as far as all the kind of the stories that have been coming in, he was a second to none soldier, the loudest drill sergeant, the most demanding of himself, and all of those types of things. So I've actually got quite a funny story about the first time I met him, and I'd gone to their house because he was he worked on the Queen's estate in Regent's Park, and they had a house there. And he took me into the garage, and he was sort of showing me his war memorabilia and stuff. It was very kind of clear what was going on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I knew exactly kind of the first day, but he wasn't backwards about coming forwards. So it was clear where I stood, and I didn't stand very high.
Well, you are a short ass, mate. There's no harm in that.
5'11" and 6 in the right sun. So
the Empire of the Sun.
No, not the Empire of the Sun. I'll burn too easy, mate. So I just wanted to say that, and I think I'll take us then into what the new feature is, or the way we're doing things is. We're just going to kind of, because when we say dad's our job, we are dads and we love our children, but dad in our context means so much more, because we're not just parents to our children or our kids. We're best friends. We're husbands, we're partners, we're confidants, we're sometimes enemies, we're sometimes on different sides of the fences, we're sometimes batting for the same team. There's so much more to our family lives than just the parenting that we do. So we're going to try and mix it up. And the topic that we're talking about this week, I think, is very apt. So we're going to be talking about home DIY projects, or, as I think is sometimes fair to say, DIY projects, because that's what seems to happen. DIY projects become my projects. And so I don't know. Adam, did you want to start, or do you want me to lead with this? Like DIY at home, talk to me.
You start, mate. You start. I'll fill in where I can. Obviously,
hang on,
DIY.
Hang on. Don't go cold on me. This was your idea. You chose this one.
It's my idea.
You just want to see me hang myself first.
Well, yeah, basically, I think in terms of like the DIY, the Y with a capital Y, as the WHY we're doing this. But the topic come about because obviously this weekend coming up, it's we've finally received Connie's birthday present, and instead of spending significant amount of money on a massive party, we decided that the money could be better spent elsewhere, which would have been a nice new wooden playhouse for Connie. So we've been waiting a long time for that. Our birthday was in January, and it's only come this week. We're in the first week of March. So I've said before it's arrived, I've arranged for my dad to come over because on the instructions it says it's a two-man job. Well, it should two-person job, it should be said. Nowadays. Utter woke nonsense.
All day.
But yeah, so basically I arranged for my dad to come over this coming Sunday. And we said, right, okay, yeah. He said, I'll be there very early. We'll get the eggs and bacon on. That's fine. We'll get it cracked out. It came, and I've not seen a pallet so big in my entire life. It's filled up literally a third of my garage. So I've come in on a Monday night, not knowing the size and the extent of it, and I am flabbergasted. And everything is in bits to the
bigger
point
than your
of,
house, isn't it?
So it's like the whole panels are individual. So I've got to put, like, luckily the timber frame is together, but the panels, like the feather boarding edge and everything else like that, is in bits, mate. Even the felt is all rolled up, and I'm like, oh my God. So I've said this to my dad, and I've read the instructions, and it says it's a 4 to 6 hour job, 4 to 6 hour assembly with two people doing it. So now I'm like, oh, so that's a recent DIY job, and we'll keep you updated as to how that goes this weekend. Luckily, the weather's going to be nice, but this kind of set us off for like memories now. So most of the time with a DIY job, it's putting Connie's toys together. And there's two instances that I can think of right off the top of my head. One was the Christmas just gone. So she went into Gabby's doll's house at the minute, and she wanted the big Gabby's dolls playhouse. So my mum bought it, opened it up on Christmas Day, and it's just this big box. This box is huge, Rob. I'm not even joking, right? It's massive.
Yeah.
I've got it out, and there are 150 smaller boxes inside it. So now I'm thinking, right, that's Christmas morning finished. Now I've got to put this together. And honestly, it took me 2 hours on Christmas Day to put this together. But it's the intricacy of, like, you got to put the door on, and then but it's not just putting the parts together. It comes with a box full of stickers. So now you've got to stick on the windows to this dollhouse, which is like Trump Tower.
Yeah. No,
Then you've got to put the stickers on to the different rooms. So each room has got several stickers. So one of them's like a bathroom. So then you've got to put one sticker is of a mirror, one sticker is of the cabinet, one sticker is of the bath, and one sticker is of the tiles on the floor, the carpet. And I'm looking at Kerry, and Kerry's just laughing at me. Like, that's it. Christmas morning, it is a write-off. Like,
it's a shambles.
Yeah. So Connie's like, I want to play in my doll's house. And I'm like, in a minute. This is getting frustrated.
It's the Grinch and Scrooge on Christmas morning.
So it came fully complete. So that was that it was money well spent, not money well spent, but it was time well spent in terms of you actually plays with it every day, so it's worth it in the end. But I'm a type of guy that, and this may come across really boring to those, but I love getting Nike flat pack furniture, a crate of beers, and listening to the 3 p.m. kickoffs on TalkSport. And that's my really, like, chilled out Saturday afternoons. Really, I love putting flat pack together, but toys that come in 150 bits, that's not my bag, I'm afraid. I've just got a low patience threshold.
No.
as mentioned earlier, with a book, reading a book.
Mate, that saddens me. I'll be honest with you. The fact that you don't like reading actually saddens me.
Mate,
Because
I went through university without reading a book. It's the worst advice to give everyone. Like I blagged my way through university. I'm not even ashamed to say that. I'm a bit like Adam Sandler when he was in I think it's a film called Comedians or something, or The Stand Up or something.
No. Was that Billy Madison film?
No, he was in a film where he was a stand-up comedian, and Seth Rogen is in it. Seth Rogen?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Seth Rogen, isn't it? Yeah, him. Yeah, he's in it as well as a stand-up comedian. But yeah, Adam Sandler's in it, and he goes like, "Oh, I got through university without reading the book." Or it might be what's the other one where they're four parents? Adam Sandler. You've got. Oh, I'm trying to think of the guys now. I'll think of the film, but it's that film. It's that film because he's a doctor, and he said I got through medical school without reading the book. Grown Ups. That's it. Yeah, very very topical. There you go. Dad book. Dad film.
There you go, mate.
You go.
Maybe that should be one of our segments. Best films about dads.
Grown Ups. Yeah, best dad films. But yeah, I've got another one, but I'll let you land, and then I could go back to mine on the funniest put together, which was a 2-person job.
Okay, cool. Well, the Christmas morning setup is completely relatable. We did it this year. Kelly set up one, I set up the other. So that is definitely a thing in our house. What I will say is, me and Kelly are actually really good at team working on things like that, putting furniture together, or whatever. We're actually quite good at working together. On that, I will say that I don't enjoy doing it. I'm not even going to pretend like I like DIY. Your idea of a perfect 3 p.m. afternoon sounds absolutely atrocious to me, and I want nothing to do with it and that madness. So I'm out. But in terms of things that funny things have happened in our house, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's just because your camera had frozen. But yeah, so I made a little sort of subtle hint at the beginning with the DIY project. I always feel like the jobs end up becoming my jobs.
Blue jobs.
I'll give you an example. Kelly's gonna be so freaking angry.
Blue jobs.
She wanted to do the downstairs bathroom. I wanted nothing to do with the downstairs bathroom. Nothing, right? So I come home one day and she stripped it and she started painting it. And she's like, so it's been left there for a couple of days. And then I sort of said, you know what, I'll finish it. It's fine, right? So I had to do some, I don't know what that, when you put wood halfway up the wall and you kind of bring like a dado round, it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to do that, leveled it out, filled up the gaps where I made some mistakes. And then I did the painting for it, but we had black paint on our wall. So I literally had to paint this over like 4 times. And that's not even an exaggeration. I literally painted this bloody thing 4 times, right? So then I've done the painting. We've got 2 tones and then I'm nearly done, right? I'm nearly done, right? And then she comes in and I've just set up dinner and then she was like, have you just got the shelf to do? And I said, yeah, I'll do it after dinner, right? No, not Kelly. Kelly wants to have the finishing touch, doesn't she? Right. So she's like, no, I'm going to put it up before dinner. Right. I've done all this work. Got the walls nice and tidy. Filled in any gaps where there's been nails. She puts the bloody thing up pissed, doesn't she? Right. No rulers, no measuring thing. Just sticks it on the wall. Senseless. Right. So now I'm looking at it, I'm like, am I being pranked? Like, what the hell has just happened? Like my beautiful new downstairs bathroom
that you were forced to decorate with.
I didn't want to do. That I've taken over, and you wanted the finishing pièce de la résistance, and you put it up pissed. So, needless to say, I didn't have my dinner because I had to fix that first. There was no way I could sit down after seeing that atrocity. I tell you, Adam. So. Yeah, but I make the joke. like I said, Kelly and I are really good at team working on stuff like this. Like we did all of the paneling in our house. We did the paneling in my parents' house. So like paneling, like team working on these types of projects, we're actually really good at. Like I said, I don't like doing them. I find no joy in it or whatever. But because Kelly likes doing it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. Right, we'll do it. Right. I moan about it first though. Like I definitely moan about doing this. But you know, we like I said, we always put together quite nice outcomes and whatever. But God, it takes an age for me to even get on board. It really does.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't mind a bit of painting, and I actually quite like that. I actually quite like the decorating side. Again, I suppose it's just because where I've been so used to drawing and colouring in with crayons in my professional job, I always quite like decorating like a room. So I don't think I've ever really decorated a room badly, which Kerry can probably vouch for. She'll probably say I'd probably say different, but no. But I think in all, I think I do decorate a room quite nicely when given the opportunity to do it. So yeah. So what's other than being sabotaged in your DIY thing? Isn't there a little rumor of more DIY work in your house? Isn't it you want to get your garage converted? Is that right?
Oh, who told you about that?
You did.
Oh, right. No, I do want to get my garage converted, but that is definitely not on the thing right now. Like that is a long-term ambition to get the garage done. But I will not be having any participation in that. Somebody else will be doing that job and it won't be me. But no, yeah, I mean, of course, that would be lovely because it would kind of open up the space that we don't really use. It's quite a popular thing to do. Callum's got it and it's lovely. But it would just mean that we could have a bit more space that we could do things with. So yeah, no, that is a long-term goal. That is not a DI my project. That is a DI somebody else's project. So, but yeah. What was this other story you wanted to tell me quickly? Because we're nearly at 25 minutes.
Yeah. So obviously when Connie was a bit younger, she started to wanting to go and play out in the garden a bit more. And one of them was we got another little playhouse, which was someone gifted it to us. It was secondhand, just a little Tykes sort of playhouse. But as part of that set, we bought you get the little green, yellow, and red box with the slide on it, the little Tykes little thing, right?
Yeah.
So me and Kerry was we bought it and we bring it home, and we was going to put it together. And one of the instructions was it's a clip-in thing. You don't screw it in at all. You just clip it in. And one of the pieces of advice the little Tykes actually said to us was, you put the slide together using warm, soapy water in the grooves. Now, I was like, how does that work? And we was like, well, maybe it kind of guides it into the grooves and stuff because it's quite a solid plastic structure. Those that have got these things will be well familiar with it. So, and it said use a mallet as well. So we're trying to put this thing together, but then I'm guiding it in and Kerry's squirting the grooves and everything with hot soapy water.
Right.
And I've gone to push it down. But because it's so slippy, I've slipped and I fell on my face with the slide half in, half out. And Kerry goes, "What's the matter with you? What are you doing?" I went, "I've literally just slipped vertically onto the floor trying to put this slide together." And she goes, "Oh, come here, let me do it. And she's trying to do it as well. And then her hands are slipping. I'm like, how is warm soapy water ever the right solution to guide something heavy like that into place? Like, I can't imagine them doing that with like a steel boat or like an iron boat in Portsmouth and go, hey, just get into dock. You got that soapy water. We ain't going to get it in.
Adam, mate, when you listen to this back, you are going to realise the same that I have had to endure, right? That is the most semi-erotic do-it-yourself story I have ever heard in my life.
I know what you mean, mate. I should have worn with chaps.
I was trying to make eye contact with you. I was like, is this where we're going, Adam? Like, what the hell?
No, it's warm soapy water, not jelly.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but listen to yourself back, all right? And give yourself a talking to. Oh, dear. We're at 25 minutes. I'm just going to finish with a quick one of my own as well. This one is from way back. It involves my dad. And it was like...
Oh, I have to apologise to your dad, actually.
Oh, yeah?
I almost had an accident with him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I come out of my turning. I know. I come out of the turning. I was about to leave to drop Connie off at nursery, and your dad was coming our way in a car.
Yeah.
And he didn't stop, and I didn't stop, and we almost like clipped each other's wing mirrors. Because obviously, if you hadn't noticed on our Facebook group with the Residents Association with the parking,
I'm not
people
allowed
are parking.
I'm not allowed to.
Oh, mate. Honestly, I'll tell you this. We'll have a bit extra time on this. Okay. So basically, on our estate, people have got more than 2 cars. So what they tend to do is they either park in the visitor bay or they'll park half on, half off the pavement, but allowing people to move past, which is fine. So obviously this has been ongoing for the past 4 years. People just tend to park the cars where they want, which is fine, absolutely fine. We all got garages, but the garages ain't big enough to put a modern family car in. So a few of the neighbours got not handwritten, but they received letters from someone that lives on the site, posted these letters. Instead of posting them through the door, they posted them, right? And on this letter, it was a letter printed on a laptop, like printed out on a computer, but it was printed landscape-wise, and it said, "You are so inconsiderate, blah blah blah. They're parking on foot, like capitals, footpaths and visitor bays. You should have more consideration, blah blah blah." But the thing is, they not only have they posted it, they've paid for a stamp to post it in the letterbox. You're looking really sheepish here. Was it you?
No, it wasn't me, mate. I can park in front of my house and I've got a bay. My road is a private road on this estate.
Just your face was dropping as I was describing this situation. So anyway,
because this is exactly why I'm not allowed on the Facebook group. I'm like, this is a big spoon.
I see. I just went, oh, how inconsiderate of neighbours and stuff like that, laughing. Like the length the person went to one, write a letter, 2, print it the wrong way, it's not even letter form, to put it in the small envelope, to go and buy a stamp, to go to the post office and post it, but then to do it to like 4 or 5 houses that live on the site. I'm like, you look at it, it's like, it's laughable. Like that, they even misspelt some of them. Yeah. It's what it is. I think it's just some old person on the site that's a bit peed off about it. But end of the day, it's not hurting anyone. Like as long as people can move past and get their prams past, or their bikes, or their wheelchairs, or whatever, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I think some people think that they own the road that's outside them, and they have a bit of a territorial thing on it. But yeah, go on, mate. Sorry to interrupt on your story.
That's all right. So my dad, who you nearly killed the other day,
sorry, Bob,
does not like DIY either. And this is probably why I don't like DIY, right? And so because my dad didn't like DIY, he just wanted to get it done, right? Which meant I didn't have a lot of I didn't do a lot with the DIY stuff with my dad when I was growing up, because he hated it. So it'd be like, just want to get it done. I just want to get it done, right? So Kelly and I try to make sure that Danny gets the opportunities to do some painting and whatever, and whatever, and do the bits and pieces. But it might be my fault as well, because the one time he let me help him, right? The one time it was just hanging a picture on a wall, right? And I think my parents will remember the pictures. It was pictures of us, I think, at Disney as kids, and we were dressed up in like the old-fashioned cowboy costumes that you could do back in the day at Disney that you probably can't do now. But they give you like a cowboy costume. You stand there in like a black and white picture, right? And I think, and it was hanging one of those pictures, right? So Dad's out there and he's all measured it and stuff. He's like, "Where's it going to go? It's going to go here, and the frame will hang, right, and it'll be fine." But I had to put string in this thing. So you know where you got the back of the frames and it's got like the two little like hooks and you can put string through it to hold the picture up. Well, I had to do that bit. That was my one bit, right? Anyway, mate, I made this string so freaking long, right? And so Dad's put it, he's going to sit there. It's not going to move. He puts the nail in and he screws it in to the wall, and then I put this frame on, right? And you literally, there's so much string, it's just like, and he just looks like, get out.
It's like, son, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
I mean, he did laugh, right? It was funny, like it was funny, right? But I'd overcooked this string by so much, right? And it literally was like a yo-yo. It was just boinging off the wall. And and he just laughed at me. He was like, "Just go." And like I said, it was an easy fix. But like I literally was, I don't even know what was going through my mind that I thought I needed so much string to hang this bloody thing off the wall. That's probably why my love for DIY is like my dad's, because I also can't make mistakes. I'm obsessive about not making a mistake, and if I make a mistake, the day's ruined. So all right, so we finish it there.
No, it's good. I think it's a good first part 1 episode, just talking about family life and dad life and whatnot. I think it's very, very good. Very short and sweet. Short and sweet. Back in the room. Those are enjoyed that. If you want to hear our part 2, you're more than welcome to listen to that. We do stream live our part 2 on YouTube. If you ever want to go on there and drop us a comment, we'll mainly be talking about football and the stuff that we like. But if you do like the stuff that we like, come along, have a little view, put a little comment, give us a bit of a banter, and then enjoy it. No worries. All right, then, Rob, I'll see you for part 2.
Wait, before you leave, though, go on, mate. When Adam says talking about stuff we like, we do like our families too. Okay, I just want to make that
Thanks for digging that hole for me, Rob. That's much appreciated.
All right, see you in 5 minutes.
See you in part 2. Goodbye.